Today we're diving into one of Thailand's most legendary amulets, the Emerald Buddha coin. Now this is an object with huge spiritual importance, and for some people, it's also an incredibly valuable collectible. So let's peel back the layers and really get into its story.
But that brings up a really big question, right? How does a simple piece of metal, a coin, turn into something so powerful, so sought after, that it's worth a fortune? That's the real mystery we're going to unravel. And to figure that out, we've got to dig into its history, its creation, and the amazing culture that's built up around it, one piece at a time.
So our story doesn't actually start with spiritual power. It begins with a massive national celebration, a moment of incredible pride and unity for the entire country.
Okay, picture this. The year is 1932, or 2475 in the Buddhist era. The country is getting ready to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Bangkok's founding. It's a huge deal. And a central part of this celebration was a plan to renovate the spiritual heart of the nation, the Temple of the Emerald Buddha. But you know, a project that massive needs a lot of funding. So King Rama VII had this incredible idea for a nationwide fundraiser. And this wasn't just about raising money. It was about getting everyone involved. As a thank you for their donation, every single citizen received one of these special coins. It made them a real part of the effort.
And the system they came up with was just brilliant. If you donated just 1 baht, you got a copper coin. 5 baht got you a nickel one, 20 got you silver, and if you donated 100 baht or more, you received a coin made of gold. This meant that absolutely everyone, no matter how much money they had, could hold a physical piece of this historic national moment.
Okay, so we've established the coin has some serious historical weight. But what makes it sacred? Well, let's get to the next layer, because this is where a piece of metal gets transformed into a powerful talisman.
Now, this wasn't just some standard minting process. Oh no, this was a deeply spiritual journey. First, they sourced sacred metal plates. Then, these plates were sent to hundreds of the most revered monks all across Thailand. Each monk would inscribe them with sacred scripts and bless them. Only after that were these spiritually charged metals melted down and finally struck into coins. And the whole thing capped off with a massive consecration ceremony, a Mahaputafisek, or Great Blessing, right there at the Temple of the Emerald Buddha.
And just take a look at the lineup of monks who were at that final ceremony. I mean, this was basically a spiritual all-star team. You had Long Pu Boon, Long Por Sad, Long Por Derm. These names are legendary. They were the most respected, powerful masters of that era. Getting all of them together in one place to bless one single object, that was completely unheard of. It was believed to infuse every single coin with their immense collective spiritual energy.
So when you have an origin story that powerful, it's really no surprise that a whole unique community, a whole culture, formed around these coins and other sacred amulets. This is the world of the Wangan Phra, the Thai Amulet Society. And the journey of this community is just fascinating to watch. It started out so humbly, back in the late 1940s, with collectors just meeting up informally under some trees. Over the years, it kept growing, moving from a coffee shop to temple grounds, and then, in 1978, the first real, formal amulet center opened up in a modern shopping mall. By 1999, it got so big they established an official association to oversee the whole trade. I mean, think about that evolution. You have a community that was once based entirely on personal trust and sharing stories, and it has completely transformed. Now, it's this sophisticated global market with official certification bodies, online stores, the whole shebang. It's really where faith and finance collide. And that brings us right up to the present day. So how do people see the Emerald Buddha coin now, almost 100 years after it was first made? What's its value and meaning today?
Well, the image on the coin is, of course, the sacred Emerald Buddha statue itself. And what's amazing is that the real statue actually has 3 different sets of robes, all made of solid gold and covered in jewels, one for each season. And it's the King of Thailand who changes these outfits in a huge royal ceremony. It's this incredible, living reminder of the deep connection between the monarchy, the faith, and the people.
Now, in the collector's world, things get a little more specific. Not all 1932 coins are seen as equal. The big difference is between the block nok, which means foreign dye, and the block nai, or domestic dye. The block nok coins were actually minted in Switzerland. They have finer details, they're rarer, and because of that, they command the highest prices. The block nais were made by local Thai artisans to keep up with the huge demand. They're still totally authentic and cherished, but they're a bit more common and easier to find.
This quote from a collector, I think, really gets to the heart of the spiritual appeal. Why is a group-blessed amulet like this one so special? Well, the belief is that it literally contains the concentrated blessings, the virtues, and the power of dozens of enlightened masters all in one object. It's seen as this incredible vessel of diverse spiritual power.
And that right there is why this matters so much. For the people who wear it, this coin is never just a piece of metal or a collector's item. It's a physical connection to a huge moment in their country's history. It's a direct link to the revered Emerald Buddha. And it's a container for the sacred energy of some of the greatest monks who ever lived. You know, the legacy of this coin hasn't faded away at all. The practice of creating and consecrating Emerald Buddha amulets is a living, breathing tradition. New versions were created in big ceremonies in 1982 and 2000, and even more recently, making sure that every generation has a way to connect with this powerful symbol of their faith.
So we're left with this final thought. In a world that's changing so fast, what does the incredible, enduring power of a small coin made back in 1932 really tell us? Maybe it speaks to this deep human need we all have for something tangible, something we can hold, that connects us to our faith, our history, and to each other.